I'm located in Los Angeles, California.
And today we have Alrey. So welcome to the city, nigga, where everybody going ride like a skinny nigga. Girl, make it jump on both sides.
Hey, that shit hard, nigga.
Hey,
That's fresh.
yo, hey, y'all think
Silly
we should do
nigga.
like just an edited one
That's
too?
cool, every
Like
nigga.
just like skinny,
Thug mentality in the VIP. Champagne splash, niggas be flashing all they juice, got me blinded. Hand me the coke and some Hennessy. That's how we do it in the VIP.
And today we have Alrey.
Rolling up the tree, celebrating it's our treat.
I saw that you were working in the music studio for Sound City Center. Could you tell us the backstory of that studio and how did you get to work in there?
Yeah, so Sound City Studio, it was a gift from God. It was something that happened after, like, I think it was 2 years of speaking with a producer and going back and forth, and we finally meet up, and he believed in my project and he loved my voice, and I went in with Fernando Cavalos, who's done, multi-Grammy um, albums, and I went in there. He invited me to go into the studio, and he heard my voice, and we got to work right away, and we've pre-recorded a song that got asked to come out on DMX's film, which is coming up, which I'm very excited about. And it's funny because I knew there was something special about Sound City, but because I'm so like goal orientated and focused on like how I have to, get things done in a certain amount of time and be able to just climb and work on my music, that I didn't get to absorb the magic behind it. And one day he calls me over and he goes, him and my business manager, like, okay, we have to go into the studio, get the song done. And he calls me over and he goes, I want to show you something. And he takes me into the parking lot upstairs, and I see all these classic cars lined up. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, what is this? And then I see like, the caution tape and like, when they're filming, how they like segregate, like isolate areas. And I'm like, okay, there's like a little tent up. What's going on here? They're filming a movie. I'm still not quite sure. I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
But he goes, look at all these cars. I see all these cars. And he goes, these are, there's a story behind each vehicle. He goes, or a band. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. So Sound City, obviously being Tom Petty, like he was the one who funded the studio. And
Yeah.
I go up there and I'm seeing all these cars that belong to like Green Day, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, and the list goes on. Yeah, so when he took me out there and I saw all the cars that represented like each band, like Foo Fighters, Nirvana, Tom Petty, Green Day, and the list goes on, I was just in shock. And that's when I finally absorbed that I was creating music in a space where all these legendary bands and artists have started to create their music in humble beginnings. And it was just beautiful to pick up on all of that energy, and to
Yeah.
know that I was in a space where history was made, where these artists have reached, their aspirations, their goals, and they're able to influence through their music. So it was a really good experience. Sound City is definitely an amazing place to record, and I'm honored to be a part of, Sound City's repertoire of artists that have walked into that amazing building and created
Yeah.
magic. So I hope to create magic.
I also saw that you were inside Chaka Khan's old studio, huh? What was that
Yes,
experience?
I love it. It's like Sound City. It's when you're in a building or around certain people, you pick up on energy. And it's so funny because I used to live 2 blocks away from Chaka Khan's studio without knowing it was Chaka Khan's studio
Yeah.
before I had met the producer, Johnnie Malone, who I'm now working with. And I remember just understanding after I had my move to Hollywood was a little sporadic, was after a time where I just decided, okay, I'm just gonna move. And wherever I move, it was based off on like a crazy limb to say, okay, wherever I find a location, that's where I'm going to go. And I did know that no matter what I was doing, I was pursuing music. And all of a sudden I end up in the mega of, the center of where it's filled with nothing but, Chaka Khan's studio, Dr. Dre's studio within like a few miles away, and all these very important underground studios that I had no idea existed and were in the area where I had recently moved to. And so I was living 2 blocks away from Chaka Khan's studio, and I had no idea. And I remember just driving and hopping on the freeway and going to work and just thinking like, God, just praying and saying, position the right people so that I can, progress and start working on my music. And where am I going to even, where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? And fast forward a year later, I get a call. I start working with JM, and it's 2 blocks away from where I lived. And I mean, there's a laundry mat area next to it. And I did laundry there to wash like my big comforters, like twice. And I remember breaking my head trying to think like, when is this all going to happen for me? When is music going to really happen? The right people going to come along, the right producers, where am I going to really record? And so happens I start recording in these places where, very important people have recorded, and it's been great. It's great every time I go. I've had so far my birthday celebrated in a recording studio, working with Breakfast in Vegas, who recorded with like The Weeknd, Bad Bunny, so many other artists. And then I've had, February 14th, Valentine's Day at Chaka Khan's studio. Yeah. And, it's amazing. It's amazing to do what I love and to be in a position in a place where people have done great things there. The Chaka Khan studio, when I'm walking in, I get to see all the, the multi like platinum albums and the Grammys, and I'm walking in there, and I just like, it just fills me right before going in to record, to just see all those albums on the wall. I say that's going to be me one day soon.
Yeah. Yeah. You're already getting that experience and vibration being in those locations.
Yeah, I can definitely say that. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful experience. I take my dog there. So I'm like, it's bring your baby to work day, and I only have a fur baby. So I take her there, and she picks up on all of that too. And they're so welcoming, they love my dog, my producer, my business manager. They take care of me, my dog, and we just get to work. We're there all through the night. So it's a climb. It's crazy.
So speaking about all these great artists, who do you consider to be top 5 artists dead or alive, and why?
Oh gosh. Well, my music is, my selection of music is very broad. I can listen to really gangster rap, very Caribbean tropical or Jamaican music, or very classical and 1940s Billie Holidays and Mozart all together, and then tango. So it's voices. I'm gonna go with voices more than artistry. Voices, I can't go wrong with Whitney Houston. I can't go wrong with Mariah Carey. I can't go wrong with, the Diana Ross. And I definitely would have to say, artist-wise, male artists, I love The Weeknd. And I like how Bad Bunny has revolutionized the Spanish market too. So I'm kind of just throwing in a mix there of artists and voices. But my top 3 voices, I would say Whitney, Mariah, and Diana Ross or Barbara Streisand. Can't beat those voices,
Okay. So you're currently working with some heavyweight producers. Could you tell us who they are and what's their experience like?
Currently working with some what?
Heavyweight producers?
Yeah, well, I mean, I try to keep it, within 5 fingers of who I work with, because everyone is so busy. But I've had the honor to work with my top 3. My first one being Johnnie Malone, JM, who I call Jammy Kite. He's turned into, a brother to me. And I've worked on my first song that I can say is truly my essence and who I am and what I'm so happy to bring out into the market and share with everyone, because it's really like who I am. And that song is going to be debut end of August. And I'll be performing at the Cannabis Award September 9th in Oklahoma. And with JM, he's produced everyone from like Nipsey Hussle.
It's an editing one too. Cool, yeah. Like just like skinny. I don't know, something else. That nigga. 25. And the man was 25. For sure. Like skinny. Like, what could we say? So like skinny nigga.
A different word, not blanking out. You just mean replace it.
Yeah. Cause like if you blank it out, you say it like almost everyone, and they saying the hook every time. Yeah. So what? That's just.
Got a copy right here, Jay.
A what?
Copy.
The snake in the grass, so fake
in
ass
the booth
free
right now
nigga.
doing this thing, killing it. I'm at JM Beats. JM on track.
To worked with like Tory Lanez, a bunch of other, great artists. And he's won, he's charted Billboard and won Grammys. So it's been great to work with him, but it's been even greater experience to create, a family, a friendship that, I can say, hey, I'm not only going to work, but I'm around people that care for my project, care for me, because, at the end of the day, we're spending 12 hours trying to create one song. So it's been a sacrifice. Music is definitely a sacrifice. And I don't think people get to see that much, They see, oh, the studio, oh, the flamboyant side of music. And to be honest with you, as artists, being an artist, being a producer, we struggle so much to be able to create our art, so much to have our own freedom and be artists. Yeah. And we fight for that every day, and it's not only till the end that people get to see the final product and a package and they're like, oh, wow, this is what it is. There's so much blood, sweat, and tears that goes behind the music, the art.
So what would be one piece of advice that you got working with him that you figured was something that you could take with you?
I get a lot of conversations with a lot of artists, with a lot of producers, but something I like about working with my producer, which Anne specifically is, we'll have a break in between sessions, and we talk about life, and we talk about, our struggles, and we talk about, God a lot, soul, energy, and we talk about, God's plan, and we just keep pushing. That's what it is. At the end of the day is, he advises me a lot to have faith and to keep pushing. And I really take that in, because I think we all come to a point in our life where so much, frustration can build up. Things aren't going the way we want them to go or as fast as we want them to go. And some people just tend to throw in the towel and quit. Yeah. And our whole thing is, you just can't quit. You have to keep going, and you have to have faith and keep going. And that's a challenge within itself, And it's definitely a challenge within itself, but it's the only way you will ever get to somewhere. So that's one advice.
Yeah. So for a new person that's checking out your music, how would you describe your style?
My style? Surprising. I'm going to always surprise people. That's just part of my personality. It's part of who I am. One day I can be singing R&B, and I'm very soulful and into my craft with R&B. And all of a sudden I may hit you with like some heavy metal. Yeah. I have no boundaries when it comes to music. It's such a form to connect with everyone, or one thing. So people can expect to be surprised by my music.
Okay. So are you currently signed to a major label?
No, I have a few labels looking at me right now. It's funny, I'll talk to my business manager, Jehovah, and he goes, "You're the only artist." You know, he's broke many artists into the industry, especially on the Latin market, from, you know, Daddy Yankee. He's currently, you know, business manager of Don Omar too. And the list goes on for him as well. And he goes, "You're the first artist that does things backwards." And I'm like, I don't know how you get it done. He goes, "But you get it done." And I'm like, okay, yeah. So, you know, he knows, you know, he's very well connected, as I am as well. I've been in the industry doing my networking from a very young age. And I have a couple of eyes on me that are very important. So wish me luck, hopefully soon.
Yeah. For music listeners out there wanting to find new artists to listen to, tell us why you're one of those artists that people should pay attention to.
That's hard to say. You know, I can't, I see the struggle behind every artist, and I see how much passion and love they put into their craft. So it's like music, everybody has their own taste in music, you know? It's hard for me to say, just listen to me, but I feel like, you know, for those that are interested in hearing a different sound and hearing different forms and types of music, take a listen, you know? Don't pass up my music.
Okay. Is there any artists out there that you would like to collaborate with?
Yes. I mean, I'd love to work with The Weeknd. I would love to make music with Andrea Bocelli.
Okay.
Create a nice song with Andrea Bocelli one time.
Yeah. So I heard your voice, it's very soulful.
Trying hard to feel the broken heart. Trying hard to feel the broken heart when I run out of time. I fight harder with your demons.
So I think that being a female and having such a deep voice, especially when I sing,
Yeah.
you know, it's like people are like, "Whoa, I didn't expect that to come out of you," and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
and I feel like I think I've listened to females that have really rough, deeper voices, and, you know, people have made fun of them and said, "Oh, you sound like man," or, you know, and they're such soulful, rich voices. And
Yeah.
someone that I've been getting compared to a lot, which is an honor to me, you know, has been Toni Braxton. And she has a beautiful, deep voice, you know, so that's someone that I can say that I'm inclined to be able to say, okay, I can hit that note. Oh, okay, that's easy for me. I can smooth right into that song, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I would say Toni Braxton.